What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Austin Got Figs, and as you can see by the title and obviously what I have right in front of me, I'm bringing you guys yet another action figure review, man. This is one that I honestly can't wait to review. I think this Kurt Angle right here is very sick. It's obviously the Legends Kurt Angle, as you can see right there. It's obviously an elite figure, of course, because we don't want those basics. We just get those elites for real. So yeah, that's the front of the box right there. Obviously, you got the Kurt Angle figure, Kurt Angle right there. Now let's turn the package the other way. Yeah, you obviously have a shot of Kurt Angle right there, and then his name, of course. Let's turn it to the back. You obviously have a description of Kurt Angle. If you do want to read that, go ahead and pause. There you go. You obviously have another shot of Kurt Angle right there, the WWE Legends logo, and then you obviously have everybody who's actually in this wave. Moving to the other side, just the same thing. You have a shot of Kurt Angle and obviously Kurt Angle's name with Elite Collection, obviously, and Series 26. Now, one thing I will say before I actually unbox this, you guys should definitely pick up this at your local Target, because if you price match it online, you can get this figure for about 13 bucks instead of $22.99 or whatever the original price is. So if you have the option to get this figure at your local Target, like right now, for I would definitely do it, man, because you can get it for a really good price instead of the full price. But without further ado, let's actually unbox this and let's review the figure. Alright, so to start it off, we're actually going to go through the accessories, obviously, that come with the Kurt Angle figure itself. So let's just actually start it off with these basic little hands here. So you pretty much, with Kurt, you just get like the basic little mic holding hands here, obviously. You got this one, so nothing too special there. And then you got this one as well. So nothing too special on the hands, just a basic set of mic holding hands, which we've seen obviously hundreds of times now. But now let's move on to the actual best accessory that this Kurt Angle has to offer. So it's obviously this gold medal right here. And obviously you don't get this with every figure, obviously. I mean, Kurt Angle is going to come with a gold medal because he's the freaking gold medalist. So I do actually really think this is very cool, because I do really like that green strap, and then obviously the medal right there. So I do enjoy this little accessory right here. I think that is very sick right here, what they have going on. I think it definitely goes on the figure very well, and it sits perfectly, so I really no complaints for me here. I think this is a very nice touch, obviously, to the figure. But that's actually all for Kurt Angle's accessories right there. Nothing, he doesn't come with anything too special, but I mean, it's still, it's not bad, but we could have gotten a little bit more. I mean, I don't know exactly what those things would have been, but I think we could have maybe got a little bit more accessories, but it's not that big of a deal, because we'll get into more of how the actual figure itself makes up for it, because the actual figure itself is sick. But like I said, we'll get more into that in just a moment. But that is gonna pretty much top it off for the accessories. Nothing too special, but I do really like that medal right there. But now let's actually jump into something more interesting and more exciting: the actual figure itself. Alright, so here's the actual Kurt Angle figure itself in all of its glory, and man, I freaking love this figure, dude. This figure is so freaking cool, man. I don't know what it is, and I think it may just be the attire, but dude, it's so awesome, man. But let's start off with the head. So I will say it. I don't think this is one of the greatest head sculpts that we've ever gotten for a Kurt Angle. I don't think this is this definitely not the greatest. We've definitely had better. And actually, I could show you actually one of the better head scans we've got. Let me go grab it real quick. Alright, so here's one of the better head scans that I think we've definitely gotten for a Kurt Angle figure. I don't remember exactly what Kurt Angle this was, but it's probably one of my favorite Kurt Angles that I do own. But I do think this is definitely a better head scan than this, but that's just me personally. So for the head scan aspect of this Legends figure right here, it's nothing too special, but it's obviously not the worst. It does its job, It doesn't totally not look like Kurt Angle. It does look like him in some sort of way. So we could obviously move the figure around. Let me actually get that real quick. So I mean, just basic head, I mean, obviously he's bald and there's not much else to see there. But now let's turn the figure back around here, get him standard. Oh, okay. So now let's move on to the actual arms of the figure. Now, I do think these arms are pretty spot on, these arms are pretty spot on. I don't think they're like an exact resemblance, but I do think they're very close, and they definitely do the job here. So we can obviously show the arms more. I mean, they definitely made them big enough, that's for sure. And honestly, I there's really not too many complaints for the arms there on my part. So I do think the arm aspect of this figure is very cool. You obviously do get these hands that point up with the ones. So that is pretty cool. Also for the arms, if you go to this arm, it's pretty much just the same thing. Nothing too special. Oh, there's actually a chip right there on the figure. That sucks. I didn't even notice that. That's all good though. It's not that big of a deal. That's probably not on every figure. It's just probably mine personally. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal though. Now let's move on. I mean, to the actual gear of the figure. So moving on to the actual gear, this gear is so sick, man. It's so cool, man. I really do enjoy this gear that they did go with for this Legends Kurt Angle. I have zero complaints, man. I love that gold and black color scheme, and then leading into the eagle with the American flag colors, and then moving on to those gold stars right there, dude. Like, and that one right there, man, that's so sick, dude. I think this is one of the best Kurt Angle gears that we've ever gotten on a Kurt Angle figure. This is so awesome. I really do enjoy this figure, and this gear, man, it's so awesome. You obviously have the knee pads down here too with the gold stars. I mean, that's so sick, dude. Let's turn the figure around and look at the back of the actual gear. So as you can see, obviously you get the American Eagle again, so that's very cool. And then you still get those golden stars. But man, it's so cool, dude. I love this gear. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention we do get one of Kurt Angle's tattoos right there, so that's cool. More articulation for the figure. If we can actually focus. There we go. So more articulation there. But man, this gear is so cool, dude. This Angle figure is definitely worth the pickup. I do think this figure is really worth picking up, and you could definitely have some fun, and I think you would definitely enjoy displaying this figure on your setup. So I do think this figure is definitely worth the purchase. It's not a waste of money at all, especially for the price now. You can get it for like $13, man. That makes it it's more worth it now. I mean, maybe it was less worth it when it was at full price, but now it's 100% worth buying, man. So I wouldn't miss out on this figure. Buy it while you can. But man, that gear, dude, is just so cool. Like I said, man, I love that black and gold and then leading into the American flag colors. That is so sick. Moving on to the shoes, though, I mean, it's just a basic shoe, pretty much. Nothing too special. Something we've seen, you know, nothing too special. I mean, the shoes do look pretty cool. I can't say that they're like too basic, because shoes do look pretty cool. But nothing too crazy. Just kind of a basic little shoe, you know. But the shoes, like I said, are pretty cool, and they do go well with the actual overall attire and color scheme of the figure. But man, like I said, this figure right here, definitely worth the pickup. Like I said, if you have not bought this figure yet, please do. I think you won't regret it, and I think, like I said, this is definitely worth the purchase. So I think that's going to wrap up today's action figure review video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the figure down below. Are you going to buy this figure, or are you just going to leave it on the shelves? You know, let me know your thoughts on this overall. And with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all later.